I've come to realize, wow, I'm the human version of my favorite thesis, which is whoever is closest to the consumer wins. The internet is where our lives will be. There's a good chance a lot of the youngsters in here will literally sit in a pod 8 hours a day and live their lives. It's real. And so I think we need to really wrap our heads around what that means. And I also think we need to wrap our heads around how fast I think this is actually gonna happen. I think about Mariano Rivera a lot. He's a baseball pitcher. He's all time. And he's all time, and he had one pitch. And I really think that's who I am. I think I'm stunningly one-dimensional, but I'm so deep in this one thing that it's gonna be able to bring all of you value, which is I'm really intuitive about consumer attention, whether that's in a B2B environment, whether that's in a B2C environment. Basically all I ever do, it comes natural to me, it's my interest, it's what I spend my time on. It's actually how I see the world. Like I actually see the world through how do you make the decisions that you make? Why do you make them? To the jokes about politics, to why he's wearing that shirt, or why you're wearing your beanie, like why we use fashion to communicate, you know, our facial hair, like every single thing to me is communication, and it really matters because this is probably the moment that attention is being most disrupted, probably since the printing press. What Guinness Beer Company did by creating the Guinness Book of World Records. They created the Guinness Book of World Records so people at pubs in the early 1900s would talk about silly things like who's the tallest, reference the Guinness Book of World Records, which would reinforce the brand Guinness and make them order Guinness at a pub. The reason you go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant or resort is because the Michelin Tire Company 100 years ago wanted people in France and London to drive outside of the main city and use their gas stations and use their tires up. So they started reviewing restaurants in the countryside under the Michelin Guide very positively to inspire the wealth to leave for the weekend. Media as advertising. I think the old world of Guinness and Michelin is actually the new world. If you don't live in a cell phone, mobile device world in your mind and the apps on it, 50% of the time spent on a mobile device is spent on a social network. The mobile device is the most important thing in our lives. And it grows every day. And this is 50% overall. This is not 50% of 19-year-olds. This is net 50. If you are not advertising and properly on Facebook and Instagram, you're becoming irrelevant by the second. If you go to the private schools in Greenwich, Connecticut, when you get your birth year, your license year, and now what's interesting is it's going younger. Your expectation is that your parents don't buy you a BMW or Mercedes. Your expectation is that your parents give you unlimited Uber. The birthday present of choice for a 16-year-old girl in Greenwich, Connecticut is not a cherry red convertible. It is unlimited Uber. And the parents would rather have it because it's the perception of safety. I couldn't have sold a single person on this 10 years ago. 10 years from today, 14-year-old girls are gonna go into strangers' cars on a nightly basis, and that's what the parents want to happen. Yeah, you could have never sold that. I've come to realize, wow, I'm the human version of my favorite thesis, which is whoever is closest to the consumer wins. That's why Amazon's winning. I think one of the most fascinating things in the world is the real celebrities are not as famous as the influencers anymore. And it's not even close, by the way. A real celebrity is not as famous as an influencer on Instagram. They're just not. They're just not. Like, you can see it in every metric that you want. Logan Paul sells way more merchandise than any A-list celebrity, and it's not even close. Way more people watch YouTube vlogs and follow Instagram celebrities. I mean, go look at the numbers. Celebrities made a huge mistake because they were famous and they were slow to Instagram. They were embarrassed to go to Instagram and have a small following count, so they never jumped in, and they just let all the people get bigger and bigger and bigger. It was ego. Content that's bringing people potentially value escapism, entertainment, information is very different than buy my car, buy my wine, buy my blouse. It's just literally positioning. Grey Goose at Wine Library is $32 a bottle, feels one way. Grey Goose at Lava at a table feels a totally different way and is 500 bucks. It's context. Car dealerships are super interesting to me because I'm fascinated by what I call expiring employees. Meaning, if there's somebody sitting in a car dealership waiting for a human being to come in, they could be doing something. So for me, what they could be doing is searching a 10-mile radius on Twitter. Somebody will tweet that they popped their tire and they're on the side of the road. In theory, that salesperson could jump into one of your cars, drive over, change the tire, and drive them to work, which then would create word of mouth. Maybe the local news would pick up on it, and now you're building brand awareness. There's so much smart shit you can do once you make the switch. Creative is the variable of success. Once you make the switch that this is the only world, now all of a sudden you do the homework. Now all of a sudden you spend the 15 hours reading on Google, how do I create a filter? How do we run ads on Facebook? How do you sell cars? How do you sell cars on Facebook? Enter. Do you know how much information's there for free? Unlimited. Go to Spotify, maybe even Apple Music right now if my team can move fast before we post this on the podcast. Open Spotify, search Monday to Monday, T-O Monday, scroll all the way to the bottom, playlists, follow that playlist and get straight fire every Monday morning.
Honestly, I think that 24/7 an understatement to my day-to-day. If ain't no way, then I'ma make a way.
Hey Gary.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing phenomenal, still.
Good. Still off the high of that moment?
Oh yeah.
Are you trying to figure out how to make that more successful?
Yeah.
Let's go a different route. Shane, I'm gonna fly you to New York City, to VaynerMedia, and you're gonna spend a day with me and my team, and we'll show you what to do. Good, I'm glad we finally made it happen. How have you been?
I've been doing phenomenal. I've been working on my online presence so far as Instagram. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right or whatever.
Well, what's your Instagram? While you're signing, I'll look at your Instagram a little bit.
Oh, it's ShaneX1975.
I'm just followed you, brother. ShaneX1975. So what can I help you with in my time? I know you're gonna be spending time with the team observing.
Yeah.
But obviously, you wanna build your personal brand up, right?
Yeah.
And so ultimately to do more books and more speaking and make a living that way?
Yeah, ultimately, that's what I want to do.
I love it.
Is write books and motivate people, inspire them.
Shane, help me understand, when you said it was your side hustle now, do you have a side job, do you have an actual job right now and this is still your side hustle?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, I wash dishes.
I remember still. So how much time a day does that take up?
A little over 7 hours sometimes.
And so how much time are you able to work on your brand and your side hustle?
You know, for a couple hours before work, I sit there and, you know.
What are you doing?
Responding to people commenting and so forth online.
On Facebook and Instagram, where?
Yeah.
But you're not getting too much engagement you're not getting a lot of comments on your posts, right?
Right.
So you don't, it's not taking up a lot of time for you to comment back because there's not a lot coming in, right?
Right.
So then what are you seeking out conversations then? When you say in the morning, you're spending time, are you leaving comments?
Actually, I've been spending a lot of time watching your videos and getting, you know,
motivated,
doing research.
Understood, which is okay. Have you started going into other people's content and becoming a bigger part of the community? I believe that if you leave your 2 cents, and let's call this the 18-cent strategy. Let's make it up right here on the spot. I want you to start deploying the 18-cent strategy. You're gonna drop $1.80 a day, 2 cents at a time, 9 top posts times 10 different hashtags every day, and that will massively build up your audience. You're gonna leave $1.80 in karma, $1.80 in community, $1.80 in your thoughts. You're not gonna spam.
Yeah.
I see people in my account all the time, follow me. You're not gonna spam.
Yeah.
You're gonna be part of the gratitude, thankful, Be present, choose happiness, positivity, community.
Okay.
Shane, everybody wants to talk.
Yeah.
The way to win is to listen and then contribute. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to put a picture of themselves like you looking cool running.
Yeah.
But I looked at your social, and just like 99% of people watching, nobody's listening yet. That's okay. That's not discouraging to me.
Yeah.
Nobody listened to me at first either. Let me say it one more time. For over a year, nobody watched my goddamn shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
The way to be discovered is to either put out great content, have one great piece of content go viral, and then everybody discovers you, or the way I like it, become part of the community. You will pick up 3 to 4 followers a day that are meaningful. That means you'll get 100 meaningful people in a month. That means you'll put out a piece of content, and if one of them is special, it's just amazing how it works. But this will keep you fresh. You know what's also great about it? The hidden great part of this. You're gonna get exposure, you're gonna get some followers, you're gonna contribute and be a great community member, but you're also gonna learn because you're gonna watch and consume 90 pieces of content that are doing well on Instagram, which is then gonna inspire and help you strategize the content that you yourself are gonna put out on Instagram. That's a good use of 3 hours a day.
Okay.
In the morning, during your lunch break, while all the dishes are drying, when you get home, tried and true, every day, gratitude, empathy, kindness, striving, motivation, motivational Monday. You pick the hashtags, they're unlimited,
Yeah.
and they all have a top 9. Let's do one together. And Shane, nothing trumps the work. You can be here for a whole week, a whole day, you can spend your life with me. What's that old adage, right? Show a horse how to drink the water, right? Or show somebody how to fish, right? They never have, come here.
If you show someone how to fish.
They'll never have a day in life that.
I literally did that yesterday. I was like, what's that fucking quote again?
Bottom line is, instead of giving you some fish to eat right now, I'm gonna teach you how to eat fish the rest of your
There we
life.
go.
I want you to do that 89 more times today.
Right on.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It was a really good moment for me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can I get a selfie?
100%. That's a good post for Instagram.
Right on.
I need some coffee.
Cool.
So let me give you a piece of advice. Gather as much attention as you can, because you're gonna trade on that, to your point.
Right.
No matter what comes out of your guys' collective mouth, we're gonna start a beverage business. We're gonna create our own label. We're gonna start we want a Beats by Dre moment. It's gonna be that fucking rat ass fly thing. Like, whatever the fuck you guys are gonna say, all of it is gonna trade on one currency: attention. The fuck am I doing? I'm just gathering so much attention, and then I get to deploy it. My K-Swiss collab outsold Future in the weekend. It makes no fucking sense. Like, this much sense. Because I have more attention than people realize. And my attention's deep. Those guys have way more attention than I do, but it's scattered on other things. And there isn't that, there's connection, that'd be unfair, but like, that's right. What I want for you and anybody else in your position, this young, this much talent, this kind of collective crew, you know, to me it's like, it's why I always thought Drake was playing it right. Here's what's smart about what Drake did, and I have no idea if this is what they thought, I just don't know. But the volume of projects that he put out speaks to my thesis, which is when you're hot, fucking, like, when you've got the best hand, fucking keep playing it. I think the other thing that I'm obsessed with is who you collaborate with. Louis Vuitton and Under Armour and Reebok and everybody else, they're all in deep fucking shit, my man. Yeah. That game is over. I'm glad your reaction. They're all dead.
We were just talking
Guys,
about it yesterday.
guys, they're all dead. Here's what that means. Instead of worrying about that right now, go deep as fuck into attention grabbing, pop back out in 24 months, you'll get pieces of equity in Nautica. Fuck a deal. Just a little more patience right now at the time that it's the hardest because you've been fucking eating shit and now you're here, but you're here. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And what's crazy is right now, this is why most people don't win. This is the time that you go even more shit eating, not the reverse. And it's so countercultural. Because you guys have been all talking about this day for fucking every day for the last 2,000 days in a row. And now you're here, and you think you're here, and it's like, no. And that's what I did. I fucking invested in Facebook, Twitter, Uber, everything. I was here, I did it. And I decided to build a client service agency, go into clients and eat shit in the prime of my career. So I'm giving you advice I took, and now I'm really here. And I'm still not really, you know what I mean? Like the longer you can hold your breath, you win. I'll give some love, I'll get some followers for you.
Money all around me. I look like I'm the man. Yeah.
Hi.
We had a weird handshake, so let's do a normal one. I like the normal
That is my normal.
I like the normal one.
Long day of meetings here in headquarters.
I gotta tell you this, because this is my son, he'll kill me if I don't, right? So I sent him this, okay? He goes, I've watched all of his speeches, what is he training you on? And I said, how to fuck the competition, and with digital and social, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, I love that guy, please get a pic with him and tell him I say thank you for existing, fire me the fuck up.
What's his name?
His name is Christian. So we have to send him you have to send him like a little clip.
I'm going video first. Christian, I got a serious question, Christian. Why's your pops here and you're not? Where the fuck are you, Christian? See you soon.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, let's sit down. The question becomes, you know, what are we talking about here? There's a very big difference between going out to, you know, Vegas for the weekend to hook up and go to, you know, Tao every night versus going out to networking events or even going out socially as a proxy to the networking that you need. For example, booking agents and the people, like I know where people that book talent go, they're not where you and your friends want to go. They're two very different places. They're very different bars. The timing of when they hang out are different. If you're asking me, should I go out to, a club at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, no, that's you actually, that's you going out. If you're asking me, should you go to the grill at 6 p.m. where you could be getting a drink, just working on your phone, and the person next to you is booking people for Broadway plays. For real. Should you do that? Yes. There's a very clear difference between work and play. I'm going out to play, but maybe I'll run into business. Versus respect, so don't. But networking matters. You know what's amazing about the modern world? This fucking thing. You know, going to the grill in 1984 and hoping to find a talent agent or whatever the fuck is on the play sucked because you sat there like a fucking jerk off if nothing was happening. You'd go to the grill in 1984, you'd sit down, and you'd have to like look around and like people are thinking you're trying to hit on that. Like it'd be convoluted. The fact that you can go there and just start working on your phone while you have a cocktail, and if it plays, it plays, but if not, you basically just had a 2-hour meeting with yourself on your work. You could have done that at the coffee shop, you could have done that laying in your bed, you could have done that right here. That's fucking incredible. That is the power. That's the subtleties that we don't give this credit for. Got it? That's big time.
You're Gary, right?
I am.
I'm Roz.
Hi,
I just want to
Roz.
introduce myself. I went to your talk at the Synergy Global Forum
Yes.
a few weeks ago, and I had no idea who you were, and it was like the most amazing thing ever.
Thank
and
you.
now I follow you, my whole family follows
Thank you.
and now I'm like obsessed.
Thank you, Roz.
But I work at L'Oreal, so
Oh,
I was
very
like,
cool.
it was so funny because I was like, oh my gosh, Vayner's in my building.
That's
How did I
awesome.
know about this? But you were amazing. Like
Thank you so
seriously,
much.
like super inspiring.
Thank you so much.
So,
it's awesome.
I didn't mean to, like,
Thank
get
you. No worries.
Film.
No worries. Thank you so much for saying hello, Roz. Madison Square Garden. With man Jamal Adams. You know, Jeff Cole. See ya.